Are there any good black men left in our community? Let's talk about it when we come back. Are there any good black men left in our community? I'm Rob Bell, and this is the Daily Rant. I hear this almost every day. There are no good black men left in our community. All the good black men are either married, they're in jail, or they're gay. And that seems to be the mantra, especially with African American women in our community, that the reason why they're not in any relationships is that they can't find any good black men. The good black men just simply, in their opinion and in their mind, just do not exist. So what is the definition of a good black man? I'm not even going to try to give you a definition of what I think a good black man is, because I'm a black man and I'm going to give you my definition, and you might not, especially as a female, even agree with it, because I think when it comes to good black men, it's a question for females. I'm certainly not looking for a good black man. I have a lot of friends who are good black men, but I'm not looking for them. I'm friends with them. So when you talk about good black men, you're usually talking about women who are looking for good black men. So the question becomes this: are your standards too high? Are you looking for something that's kind of a fantasy situation? Are you looking for something that you think doesn't even exist? And what's the real issue here with trying to find a good black man? Some women want a man that is financially stable, that has a good job, that has a good car, that's good looking, that has a career, that has a future, and has the ability to somewhere down the line be a good husband and be a good father. That's I think in a lot of cases the definition of what a good black man is to some women. Some women will tell you, yeah, I want all those things, but I don't necessarily need him to be a CEO, or I don't necessarily need him to be driving, Mercedes Benz or a Beamer or a Lexus. I just need somebody that's got a decent job, that's a hard worker, that's going to respect me, that's going to be a good father to my children, and somebody that's not going to cheat on me, and somebody that I can build a life together with. I just need somebody that I can bring just as much to the table as that person can bring. So, again, there are a lot of variables and definitions of what a good black man is. So it's hard, again, to kind of pinpoint what that is. Now, there are some men who will say, of course there are good black men out here. There are a lot of us out here, but you women just want kind of pie in the sky kind of situations. You always want a guy that is tall, dark, and handsome, and has a great job, and always has money in his pocket. He's going to shower you with anything that you want, and it ain't necessarily about the love and the happiness. Is more about the finances. If he can't buy you a car or buy you a house or put a diamond ring on your finger, then you don't want that kind of man. You only want, the kind of, you do want that kind of man. You don't want no man that can't do anything like that for you. And so that's why you find yourself by yourself. There's a lot of brothers that kind of are, I don't want to use the word bitter, but, find themselves on the back end of that because, they simply can't provide all that. Every man is not the same. Every man, from a financial standpoint, is not on the same level. Every man, from a housing standpoint is not on the same level. Every man on an educational standpoint is not on the same level. You got a lot of men in our community that's just on different levels in terms of all those things that I just talked about, and that does not necessarily make them a man that's not a good man, And so again, the argument from a lot of brothers will be, as a female, you need to look at yourself first and kind of identify what is it that you really want. Is it possible to have it all? In some cases, it may be, but then in a lot of other cases, it's not. A lot of men are willing to, bring what they can bring to the table, and then as a couple, you two can grow together. It's more of that probably that's going to happen than not. The other part of it is that a lot of women have been in relationships and have been, for whatever reason, jilted, cheated on, disrespected, and as a result, they're not in those relationships anymore. So they have this sour taste about men in general. And so the result is, in their mind, there are no good black men. All men cheat. All men will be disrespectful. All men will do what they do. So, in terms of finding a good man, that's almost non-existent in our community, especially when you talk about, our men. So we've chosen to kind of go to the other side and date outside of our race, as if because a man is a different color, he may be different in terms of how he treats you. That's another argument or another rant for another show. But there are women that have kind of taken that stance and have chosen to go that way. I say there are a lot of good black men in our community. And I want to believe, and this may be bias on my part because I am a man, I want to believe that most of the men in our community are good black men. We have the ability to be good husbands. We do have the ability to be good fathers. We do have the ability to be good providers. We want a partner that is kind of in that same boat. We want a partner that, is kind of the same person that we are when it comes to that. And if we can possibly grow together, that will be great for us. And the end solution to that, or rather the end outcome of that, is you have people who are in our community that are two parents that have the ability to raise good families, and when we have good families in our communities, we build strong black communities. And so, we as people, men and women in our community, need to really take a step back and kind of analyze what is it that we really want, and look at the end game. And the end game is to come together as couples so that we can, live in our communities and build strong African American communities, and that will help try to eradicate some of the negative things that are happening in our community today. This is Rob Bell, and this is the Daily Rant.